Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you here tonight. I'm going to say a few words about the Strand before I introduce the event. For a moment of history, 93 years ago, my grandfather founded the Strand bookstore in an area known as Book Row, which ran just on the other side of this building on 4th Avenue from Astor Place to Union Square. It was the storm of the Depression, and he defied the odds by surviving all the other 48 used bookstores that were in that area. The store then was passed down to my late father, Fred Bass, who grew the store to a scale and popularity that he never thought was possible. Now the store's been passed down to me as the owner. So I just want to thank you all, this book-loving and fun community in this audience, for helping us to survive and thrive through the ages. And tonight's going to be the best evening. So fun. And let's face it, there's one thing New Yorkers just know, and that is, from New York, you don't get a divorce. So no amount of tourists, traffic, trauma, trolls, or trash can change the unconsciously accepted reality that once you're here, you cannot leave. Lou Craft, brilliant, fun, Manhattan-based writer and poet. We miss her. She used to live across the street from the Strand on 60 East 12th Street for 8 years, but she's still on the Upper East Side. Her first poem was published in the New York Times Metropolitan Diary 4 years ago. Subsequently, they published 18 since. On January 19th, my mother and I and the whole staff of the Strand were surprised to open up the New York Times and find a poem dedicated to us. There was Waltzing Down to the Strand by Lou. So thank you. So joining Lou tonight is the phenomenal composer Frank Sanchez. Frank came into the scene last year, and together they conceived From New York, You Don't Get a Divorce, based on these New York Times poems. With Lou and Frank is the extraordinary cabaret cast of Matt. Can you raise your hand? Back there. Julie, Marty, and Chelsea. So without further hesitation, please join me in welcoming Lou Craft, Frank Sanchez, and the cabaret cast to the Strand. Thank you.
Wow. Here we are at the Strand. And as graceful as ever. Now, everybody breathe in. Breathe in the molecules of the authors. The mingled scent of decaying pages and fading ink. Breathe. Oh, that's Christopher Isherwood. Oh, that's Patricia Highsmith. Now, we've lost the Endicott, Murder, Inc., and Brentanos, and the Coliseum. But we still have this place. Now, we're going to play a game. I want you to think of an author, a real New Yorkie author. Doesn't have to be born here, but the work typifies the city. I don't want any calling out, immediate disqualification. Now, I'll be working with the judges. Judges, please say hello. Hello, hello. So I don't want anybody disputing anything. Got it? Got the rules? Okay, so let's begin. Yes, young lady in the back. Yes, yes.
Gotta be Roz Chast. She's been funny for decades. Love her New Yorker cartoons, always make me laugh. Everyone's neurotic, but somehow lovable. I read her books over and over when I need a hint of nutty humanity.
That is terrific. Would you please come up?
Yes.
Okay, let's get somebody else. Young man with the dazzling earring.
Thank you. Someone I know made it once before. Now, yes, Roz is wonderful, but I got to tell you, I'm thinking more of the lines of fedoras and cigars. You know, the literary New York that I never knew. The round table at the Algonquin, where you can still get a slush pile at the bar. My nominee is Dorothy Parker.
Wow. Come on up. Okay, I'll take somebody else. Yes, in the pink, please.
I'm tossed between A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Harry the Spy, and Marjorie Morningstar. I tend to lean towards the classics with strong female protagonists.
Just pick one.
Fine, then I'll go with Truman Capote, and I'll need to tread lightly, Holly, go lightly. What's better than breakfast at Tiffany's?
Nothing. Come on up. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else. Fellow in the gold lame, yes.
Okay, hold on. Pete Hamill, obviously, especially for his novel, Forever. Magical, epic. Here's a character who is granted immortality if he never leaves Manhattan. The whole history of the island. It should be an opera, and I'm going to write the music one of these days.
That is superb. Take a seat behind her. Wonderful. Okay. So I think we have everybody.
Okay, wait a minute, would you, okay? This contest is fixed, okay? These people were obviously not chosen randomly. This is a shrill, this is an outrage, and I'm tempted to leave.
Of course they have. This is New York. We're stranded here. We are the connoisseurs of the con, the guys of guile, and the dolls of duplicity.
Well, I think that you should learn to play by the rules.
Well, I think that you should chill and stay here because you're not leaving. Because from New York, you don't get a divorce.
If I told you I'm leaving Manhattan, would you finally believe I'm sincere?
How many times have I heard that one? You say it at least twice a year.
No, this time I mean it, I'm serious. The city has ceased to enchant.
Too much wine or you're truly delirious. Leave the city, you know that you can't.
But the tourists, the traffic, the trauma, the trolls and the trash, what a mess.
Go to Broadway, you'll find better drama.
And who doesn't thrive under stress?
I'm thinking New England, say Portsmouth. The ocean, the mountains are calling.
In 10 minutes, no doubt you'd be bored stiff. And I hear that the pizza is appalling.
But I'm done with this town, I am finished.
It's not the same place that I knew.
With decades, love's always diminished. It's not the same, nor are you.
So I'm staying right here in Manhattan.
You are, as a matter of course. Your handcuffs are smoothest of satin. From New York, you don't get a divorce.
The Dastardly Double U.
Okay, Matt. Which would you rather do hypothetically?
Okay.
Okay. Go for a swim with the Polar Bear Club at Coney Island on New Year's Day, or ride the float as King Neptune at the Mermaid Parade.
Oh, that's not even a choice. King Neptune suits me. I am salty and regal. What about you?
I'd take the swim, but I'd probably get cold feet and end up at the aquarium. Now, which sea creature are you? A jellyfish, a stingray, or a walrus?
Oh, no, I am the walrus, cuckoo, ka-choo, you know what I mean?
I'm a seahorse. Do you know the male carries the eggs and looks pregnant? So crazy.
Okay, see, what's up with these questions, Marty?
I've got some work to do, so I'm, procrastinating.
Oh, come on, don't procrastinate now. You can do that later.
Can't argue with that. Walrus, huh?
I like words that begin with W. What can I tell you?
With 25, I have no quibble. But then there's one that haunts each syllable. The arrogance, the downright snobbery. So much breath, it's highway robbery. Who is the culprit? Thought you knew that worldly wanton double you. Now X is somewhat mystical, the I is egotistical, Y is cool and existential, B's existence is essential, U is for who isn't me, I'm also fond of F and G, P is vulgar, C is a vision, U is short for indecision, the alphabet is jaunty nimble, where would we be without each symbol? But W, the nerve, the goal, 3 syllables and that's not all. More like wayward, wasteful, weird, wicked, wily, wayward, feared. That consonant is tooth and jowl. With every letter, every vowel. And yet I have no doubt about it. Air ud e be it out it.
NYPL on the UES.
Picture a brisk, turtleneck November morning, and there's a supple leather glove lying on the cobblestone sidewalk on Central Park West in the 90s. A brown leather leaf lost among the crackly, faded yellow and orange real leaves. Then a skinny cat surviving on God knows what wanders by. Gets me kind of melancholy, baby. Kind of like last Tuesday when I ran into an acting teacher of mine and she got older. I could see the lines in her face and she let her hair grow white. I told her my career was in a state of inertia now. And she said, "Oh, but all your talent." And I said, "But nobody wants it." "Are you still teaching?" I asked her. "You were so great and inspiring." "Too old, darling. Thought I'd never grow old, but you know, I'm a wristwatch when everyone looks on their phone for the time. An analog in a digital universe."
I pity the poor encyclopedia, dingy and dreary and dusty. Does anyone here want to read ya? Long ago you were tried, true, and trusty. Every woman and child and manica once poured through your pages, perused the treasures inside old Britannica, now unwanted, unloved, and unused. Can't they see you're enticing, enjoyable? Will they fondle your pages once more? Why is wanting attention a foible when you've knowledge and info galore? There you sit on the shelf, you're a martyr, while ignoble out should be warned. No one here among us is smarter than the mighty tones that they have scorned. I pity the poor encyclopedia, suffering a silent malaise. Sexy screens and seductive new media. Yeah, that's what's on the menu. That's what's on the menu. That's what's on the menu these days.
Mermaids and dolphins in the Gowanus Canal.
New York should secede from the rest of the country, much like Barcelona is trying to do in Spain. And why not? We have our own cuisine, customs, and economy. Last week, I was coming home from taking my Lucky to the vet. She was slung over my shoulder in a cute little Marc Jacobs carrying bag and meowing and howling like a frightened tiger cub. It's over, Lucky. You're okay. You just got your toenails clipped. I go to purchase my usual coffee from the cart at 86th and Lex, large, black, no sugar in the blue and white cup, and it's always their pleasure to serve me. When I see a display of brochures, I thought it was a charity or something, but then I get a little closer and I see it's from the NRA. Yeah, we hunt a lot of bears here. We need rifles and submachine guns for squirrels. Pornography. There were 3 excruciatingly unattractive men wearing, of course, those little red baseball hats, and, well, I don't know how it happened. Lucky must have kicked the bag and jostled me, and the coffee spilled all over those brochures. And then somehow, and it's beyond me, my giant pink water bottle slipped out of my bag and the lid came off, and 64 ounces of water also spilled all over those brochures, soaking them, ruining them. How clumsy I am sometimes.
When the world is too much upon us, and evil is merely banal, let's you and I cruise the Gowanus Canal.
If not lit by the beams of a lighthouse, we'll find us a runcible moon. And with all of the schemes in the White House, it won't be a moment too soon.
Shall we ride in a fiberglass kayak, a rowboat, a sloop, or canoe? And though neither Venice nor Nyack,
Brooklyn will just have to do.
you will see how the water will shimmer and shine with a luminous glow. You won't even have a small glimmer
Of what's going on down below, where the sewage and sludge have colluded to bring down good people's morale. It's putrid and poison polluted. That cesspool you call a canal.
Yes, but we can pretend that the bubbles from the chemical cocktails that seethe, no, they aren't any woes, any troubles, only mermaids and dolphins who breathe. Well, when the world is too much upon us,
Be my friend, be my lover, my pal,
and let's you and I cruise the Gowanus Canal.
Everybody's a dumpling.
Dear exalted editor at Manuscriptus Books, A Pigeon on Mott Street is a complete novel of 35,000 words which deals with the struggles of a young teenage girl who longs to leave Mott Street She falls in love with an older boy who breaks her heart and then later burns down a leather coat store on Chinese New Year. And I know that this all sounds rather lugubrious, but if you read the attached manuscript, you'll see that while it is indeed poignant, it is quite humorous as well. Below, you will find some sample pages for your delectation. In a word, bait. All best, Matt Giravanu. This is the excerpt. Shirley, we need to talk to you.
I can't right now.
Well, we have come to a decision. We want you to join our club.
I'm really not into clubs. I have my own select group of friends.
Well, if you mean Freddie, then you have your own select group of friend. It's time that you broadened your horizons and accepted your heritage as Greta and I have accepted ours.
Mabel, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We're starting a club.
I thought that we agreed that I was going to ask her.
Oh, sorry, Mabel.
Now then, Greta and I have started the Polish-Chinese Association. We're calling it the Pierogi and Dumpling Club. All Chinese and Polish kids are invited to join.
But what about the African Americans? The Latinos? The Jewish and whatever else kids?
I don't care. They can have their own club, silly.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't join that stupid club for $1 million.
Really, Shirley? Well, don't you worry about it. You won't be invited again. Come on, Greta.
You're so clueless. You wouldn't even know if you're a pierogi or a dumpling.
I am not a food, Greta. Nobody is a food.
That's right. Except don't think the entire world doesn't know that you're Chinese. I was offering you something positive. Fine. Don't join our club. Who needs you anyway?
Hey, what did those two want?
You're not going to believe this, Freddie. They're starting a Polish-Chinese club. Dumplings and pierogies.
I love that idea.
You've got to be kidding.
No. Are you kidding me?
Scrumptious, lovely, dreamed of, boiled, fried, or steamed love, those tender little pockets made of dough. New York noshers chew 'em, and you mustn't misconstrue 'em, 'cause a dumpling's like a person, don't you know? Everybody's a dumpling. Everybody's a dumpling, in luck or in the soup. Who isn't crispy on the outside and vulnerable within? Like an innie or an outie, you can never have a doubty, 'cause what it's all abouty, if you're a gourmet or a glutton, you have got a belly button, and you gotta gobble up. Dumplings are yum, delicious. Dumplings are made with skill. I could easily OD on dumplings, and yes, I think one day I will. You could have 'em sweet or savory, in the army or the navy, plain or with some gravery, because dumplings are universal. Use chopsticks, a spear, or a fork, filled up with cheese or veggies, or chicken, or beef, or pork. You never know the inside until you take a bite. No matter what that culture is, they always come out right. They're a secret wrapped in flour. They're a treasure for the tongue. Eat 'em by the hour, if you're old or if you're young. ricotta stuffed in ravioli, and empanadas guacamole. And the English like a pasty, and pelmenis Russian tasty. Cantonese, oh wow, with jiaozi or hargao. In Japan, they like gyoza, and in India, samosa.
Wonderful. Can you do that again?
And in India, samosa. You want it a third time, or? Okay, great, okay. Everybody's a dumpling. I'm a kreplach, you're shumai. Everybody's a dumpling. Everybody's a dumpling. Everybody's a dumpling. You and
Hummus swirled with harissa.
Jennifer Quigley, my own Eleanor Rigby. She lived over Malmoons on Thompson or McDougal, one of those. And we're in our 20s, and you know how you like when you're in your 20s. And I was this big, dark secret. Nobody met me because I was Eddie Shapiro, and I was on tour as a drummer in a rock and roll band. It was this big, dark secret, which you could do in those days because there was no Twitter and Facebook and all of that. Well, anyway, the years go by. Yes, they certainly do. Boy, do they go by. Of course we broke up. Who could live with the mothballs? She found a real Eddie Shapiro, Michael Glickman, Steen, Cohen, Katz, Ski, Baum, chick. And they were very happy. And I'm still jealous after all these years. I think of what could have been and how many more falafels we could have had.
Hummus swirled with harissa. They frolicked and danced with delight. He would turn to her cheek, lightly kiss her, one balmy Baklavian night.
The air was fragrant with cumin. Hummus spun her around with a whoosh. But there was a most jealous human by the name of Bob Aganoush.
A brat and a brute and a meanie loved harissa a long time ago.
Now his waist was as white as tahini. His garbanzo swung heavy and low.
Cease and desist your seducing!
And he punched Hummus smack in the head.
That puts an end to couscousing!
And he left him for sure, he was dead.
But where there is pita and shawarma, where eggplants and chickpeas abound,
Where kibba kebabs meet with karma, life sometimes works out all around.
harissa and hummus keep swirling, dancing closely with hip against hip, Two dervishes spinning and whirling, creating a marvelous dip.
Green grass is always greener.
You can have your Barney Miller. You can keep your Barney Five. But give me Barney Greengrass, and you've salted up my life. The Nova there is unctuous, that sturgeon's like a dream. And the latkes are rambunctious as the herrings dance in cream. Have a Leo very well. A side of toasted rye, kippered salmon, what the hell? A plate of matzo brie. Wash it down with Dr. Brown, and don't forget the borscht. West side, best side, deli crown, a black and white, of course. So you can have your Barney gumbo and a plate of beans and franks, but give me Barney Greengrass, and you have got my thanks. Wash it down with Dr. Brown, and don't forget that borscht. West side, best side, deli crown, a black and white, of course. So you can have your Barney gumbo and a plate of beans and franks, but give me Barney Greengrass, and you have got my
Mrs. Sprat's ultimate demise at Katz's Deli.
Oh, God, I needed that. I was utterly Frida Kahlo'd as her student Attila the Hun. And these nails, as if I were digging up tulips in the Bronx Botanical Gardens. I like your color, honey.
I get seduced by what they call them. This one's libidinous lavender.
Probably an aspiring romance novelist figured that one out. Hey, you look familiar. The Century?
It's a good one?
No, I mean the club. No, 92nd Street Y? The lecture series? No? Oh, that gorgeous face. Are you a model or an actress?
In theory, yes. And I'm waiting to hear about. Are you a producer?
Oh, well, in a manner of speaking, I produce books. Wait, are you in my Saturday Fat is Right Around the Corner class? With David.
Yes.
Yeah, although Lord knows why you're in it.
Now I recognize you. You wear the neon pink leggings. Chelsea.
Oh, Upper West Side.
Oh no, I'm Chelsea.
Oh.
Chelsea Herman.
Julie Feldman. Nice to meet you. This is a pleasure. Don't you love David?
Yes.
Oh my God, he's
Really
helped me
good.
keep off the last 22 tap. He's helped me keep off these last 22 pounds, and it's murder in this town.
The temptation is tormenting. I hear the sirens whistling my name every time I walk by Zabars. They beckon sensuously.
Oh, they're witches, vixens, viragos. Because when you're walking down the block,
About to drop your guard and head into a bakery or a bar.
you must always remember, fat is right around the corner.
Mrs. Sprat was enormously fat. Her hubby, the rat, took a powder. She found some relief from her gluttonous grief in a bowl of Manhattan clam chowder. As it simmered and steamed, she pondered and dreamed of the time when she might become svelte.
It's unchic to be chubby, the hell with my hubby, and one day I just might wear a belt.
Oh, how firm, resolute, she considered each glute.
I'll be pretty and lovely and fair.
So she went to the gym, took a sauna, a swim, and thus chiseled her huge derriere. She passed on potatoes and favored tomatoes. She fasted, she cleansed, and she juiced. She deserted desserts.
That's painful, it hurts.
But behold, look at me, I've reduced.
But that was before a knock on the door. Cousin Izzy was there with a smile.
Ma, you're looking much thinner. I'll take you to dinner. How about Katz and we'll go kosher style? How could she resist?
That name makes my blood flow.
That Deli on Ludlow puts dieters into a coma. It's part the decor and linoleum floor and the piquant and pungent aroma. 1 hour later.
My nostrils assaulted, how could I be faulted? Pass up pastrami? Ha! Who'd risk it? The kishka, the kugel, their still lifes by Bruegel, the corned beef, the tongue, the brisket.
She sweated and shivered, was blinched and chop-livered, indulged every possible urge. Enraptured, enthralled, egg-creamed, matzo balled, such a sad and spontaneous splurge. For poor Mrs. Sprat once again grew quite fat while swimming in dangerous waters. And oh my,
Gotten Himmel.
the great Yona Schimmel she discovered as well Russ and daughters. It isn't ironic that restaurants iconic have fabulous treats here to sell you. When it comes to the fork, there's no place like New York. Just ask Mrs. Sprat and she'll tell you.
Ciao Trader Vic's Hello Trader Joe's.
Hey Lou, can you pass me that remote? That's the phone.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't be left to my own devices.
Do you want to try and find an episode of Monk we haven't seen yet? I wish they filmed it in New York instead of San Francisco. Then it would be perfect.
Which New York? Yours or mine?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's the same, Aunt
No.
Lou, obviously.
Not the same. It's not the same, Marty. It was so much edgier then. Adam Herpel on a bicycle going down University. Gunshots in Union Square. Now what do you got? You got a Bubba Gump in Times Square when there should be peep shows and porn palaces. I don't know how to tell you, Marty, but it was better then.
Okay, maybe.
Go ahead.
It's because you were my age then?
Yes, no. Yes. Yep. What do you think is better, a computer or a typewriter?
Computer, obviously.
Why? Why? Because you could do more things? What about the click-clack of a typewriter? That bell. Remember that bell?
Nope.
And yeah, and you don't even know what onion skin is. And I'll tell you something else. Cutting and pasting, okay? You did it with a scissor and Scotch tape.
So much work, though. Who wants to do all that?
But it was a challenge. The banks were closed on the weekends. You needed money. You needed grit. You needed a token.
Okay. Look, I don't want to get too personal, but I'm gonna get too personal.
Go ahead.
Is it the city you miss, or your youth?
The city, my youth. The city. Falafel. Spare me your Uber, your Lyft, and your Via. Driverless cars, not the new panacea. I long for a checker, an old-fashioned cab with a bald, grizzled cabbie who still likes to gab. 7-Elevens have sprouted like weeds and use bookstores on Fourth like anyone reads, unless it's to sext or to text on the phone, which gives the illusion we're never alone. Well, don't know about you, but by hook or by crookery, I'll be seeing Alberta downtown at the Cookery. First dinner at Heath's, then drinks at the Cedar. Time keeps on clicking, can't turn back the meter. The city will morph into better or worse, and it's best to go forward and not in reverse on this glorious cab ride. And that's how it goes.
So ciao, Trader Vic's, and hello, Trader Joe's.
You know, I never know what to eat at brunch. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I do that, Frank?
Brunch at Sarabeth's with Aunt Dotty from Madbury.
You know, I never know what to eat at brunch. You know, it's one of those meals that just has, you know, a collective lunocracy to it. You know, shall I be breakfastule and order, say, I don't know what, French toast or oatmeal? Or should I chow down heartily on a nice, like, greasy hamburger with fries? Or do I, like, impress everybody with, like, a virtuous salad? Brunch is totally bogus, the whole thing. It's an imposter. It's a phony who has captivated diners with her promise of surreal combinations washed down with sangria that is too sweet or Bloody Marys that are too watery. Oh, well, here's the waiter. I must decide or else everyone will think that I'm waffling.
So are you staying uptown in the area?
No, I've never been to Bavaria.
An Airbnb or hotel?
Well, who doesn't love Dev Patel?
Let's order, and I've got the check.
Scotch and water at brunch? What the heck?
And after we'll cab to the High Line.
I agree. What an incredible skyline.
Or maybe the Whitney. Or Frick.
Oh, I'm feeling well, dear. I'm not sick.
Aunt Dotty, you're deaf as a doorknob.
Fine. Then we'll talk about your job.
Cassidy Quinn's stunning redemption at the casino in Queens.
Whenever I'm at brunch, no, I'm kidding. All the time, like whenever I can. You know, I'm really on the lookout for people with real palpable talent. You know, like that they just make my heart sing, you know. It's like the ones that have always dreamed about the city and making their indelible mark here. You know, of all places over anywhere else, like Muncie, Indiana. You know, how they struggle so hard, but how that also inspires me. Like, take Chelsea, for instance. She's my next door neighbor right down the hall. And, you know, she always tells me about these auditions that she's going to and, you know, how they're going. And then, I mean, I hear her walking down the stairs and, you know, she's aromatic and gorgeous and full of hope. And then she comes back and knocks at my door and, like, I get the vibe, so then I make a picture of mojitos. You know, I tell her how nobody wants my novel, A Pigeon, on Mott Street either. You know, I've sent out the synopsis 147 times and nobody responds. And it's really good. Like, I'm telling you. So we commiserate, we play backgammon. Only this time, you know, she's like being a little secretive. She puts up the shoulder, and I think that means coy. He's pulling a major Mona Lisa from this Astoria boy. What's up, girlie?
You will not believe this. You will not believe this.
Wow, okay, spill, sweetheart. Tell me, what is it?
Sometimes you think no matter how passionately you love New York, that love will never be requited. You struggle and struggle and struggle and work a crappy job and tell your parents, please, just one more year, I'll do it.
Oh my God, just tell me, spill it. What is going on?
Simple. I got the call back.
What? Oh my God, that's
New York
incredible.
loves me. Finally.
Many a block away, out in the Rockaways, Cassidy Quinn took a ramble. Now Cassidy Quinn did not dabble in sin, but Cassidy Quinn liked to gamble. She entered resorts, hearing spitting and snorts from mocking malicious machines. They were steely psychotic, yet strangely erotic, pernicious, perfidious fiends. We know how to seduce you, coax you, induce you to part with your big wad of cash. Come Cassidy Quinn, babe, it's time to begin, babe,
With whistles.
and sirens in a flash.
That unscratchable itch. Hey, this time I'll be rich. First I'll shove in a 5, no a 20.
Neither timid nor thrifty, she shoved in a 50.
Free games you want? We got plenty.
And the games kept on banging and the games kept on banging with booming and clanging. Temptations be damned, she succumbed. Enthused and euphoric, her eyes meteoric, her heart all a-tingle then numbed. For alas, fate is fickle, the deluge a trickle, the mighty machines had their fun.
I was only beginning, and wasn't I winning? Please give it up, guys, or I am done.
It was painfully hard,
But wait, MasterCard, what's the harm in a little advance?
so she withdrew 1,000 to feed the cash cow.
Did you win once again?
Not a chance.
Her resources depleted, depressed and defeated, she searched for a Kleenex and then, right there in her purse,
Could this get any worse?
crumbled up was a 5 and a 10. Here's the nudge and the wink, 'cause you'll probably think that she squandered this money as well. Poor Cassidy Quinn, she has wallowed in sin, and it's likely she's going to hell.
But Cassidy Quinn simply wouldn't give in.
Call her crazy.
A nut job.
A crackpot. For Cassidy Quinn risked the 10 and the fin. And Cassidy Quinn did the jackpot.
Catcher in the Reservoir.
New York is the best when it's cold, in winter on a bright and sunny Sunday afternoon. It's so much more New Yorkier then. You can be lonely and walking and you're bundled up, and even though you'll probably be eating dinner alone and then grading essays for hours, knowing you're snug in your apartment makes the heebie-jeebie eve of the work week somehow okay. I like my Central Park walks when the air is crackly and the grass is covered with crunchy snow. I'll wander along the banks of the frozen Harlem Mere, wrapped up like a mummy in a soft wool plaid scarf, and the sun will be down before you know it. It gets dark so early. And I'll wander maybe next week along those very same banks, or maybe even in the conservatory, which is bare and it's quiet. I'll wonder if I'll meet someone who gets it, who gets the city and me.
Hey, Holden, I hear that you're worried, concerned. Where are the ducks since the weather has turned? You've asked several cabbies, they simply don't know. Where are the ducks and where do they go? They're lonely and cold and probably depressed. It's tough in this town when you haven't a nest, when the trees are all bare and the temperature's brutal, and the mood is despair and the journey is futile. But kiddo, take heart, because this is the crux. If you listen for quacking, you'll see that the ducks are here in the park, and they haven't flown far. They splash and relax in the grand reservoir. The ducklings, the drakes, the mallards, the hens, all these ducks in a row, our fine feathered friends, dining on sushi, a marvelous feast. Central Park's their address, west, middle, and east. So hang in there, Holden, relax, take it slow. No need to fret about where the ducks go, though the rest of the world's in a sad state of flux. In the park there's a catcher redux.
Number 6, haikus.
There is no dearth of crazy people. Philosophers, better not make eye contact or you will regret it. Odoriferous, obnoxious, insane, intrusive characters one is forced to encounter. I do not consider myself hoity-toity, at least not usually. But I am often thrust into the hellish morass of the hoi polloi on my way to Bergdorf's or Bloomies. And what does a woman have to endure for the perfect shade of burgundy lipstick? Shopping soothes me after a day of wheeling and dealing all day with the various nefarious employees and lack of assistance with whom I must consort. I made my way. I got the MBA. I broke the glass ceiling into pointy little shards, and I kept one in my bag in the event that I'll need it as a shiv. Pardon me. There I go, hyperbolizing again. But can you kindly tell me, what in the hell is a jar of gherkins doing on this bench in the subway?
A jar of gherkins atop a bench at Bleecker. brine and forgotten. Who left these pickles? What's to become of dinner? Oh, lonely hot dog.
Waltzing down to the Strand.
Hello, am I speaking with Matt Gore-Vinilios?
What's in a name? With whom do I have the pleasure?
Chief editor and muckety-muck at Manuscriptus Books, affectionately and fearfully recalled as Jitso Julie.
Oh my God. Is this the call?
We want the book, you tireless scribbler. My mentally challenged lack of assistance put the kibosh on it, only somehow one fellow with steel cojones brought it to my attention.
Were you moved by the exquisiteness of the prose or the complexity of the plot? I am beside myself with irrepressible joy.
A Pigeon on Mott Street is a love letter to New York.
I so agree.
A young adult novel with plausible yet compelling characters.
I mean the population of the city itself.
A bestseller in utero.
In metero, too.
I'm sure you will agree to all the bullet points in the contract my steel cojones assistant will be popping off in an email.
Absolutely. I am silly putty in your hands. You can stretch me, you can bend me, you can bounce me.
I can see it on all the tables in the finest establishments. I will edit it myself, as I used to do for many other young writers many moons ago.
But nothing will eclipse what you will do with my book.
Matt, you have matriculated. You are my literary matisse. Welcome. Come waltz with me down to the Strand, love. 18 miles of books we'll peruse. Please turn off your phone, take my hand, love. Think of all of the novels we'll choose. Mr. Barnes, Mr. Noble are decent as they fill a prosaical niche. Though most of their stock is too recent, and I don't want a brow smelling quiche.
Come wander with me in the Strand, dear. We'll roam amid tables and nooks. I won't order online, understand, dear. Algorithms are not meant for books. Let's hobnob with writers prolific. David's Mamet, Sedaris, and Ives. Zoe Heller is truly terrific. As sharp as Rendelian knives. Stephen King, Philip Roth, Arthur Miller. McCracken, McCullers, Chabon, something clever or poignant, a thriller. With a book, one is never alone.
We'll read Highsmith and Hellman and Hamill.
And Dominic Dunn, Roald Dahl.
With the thirst of a greedy, parched camel.
We'll buy 'em and we'll read 'em all.
To the temple, the mosque, and the cloister. Climb the ladder, we'll search all the shelves. Finding pearls inside every oyster. Finding all of the parts of ourselves. Come waltz with me down to the Strand, love. For Singer, for Steinbeck, for Poe.
That's what I got, and it's planned, love. Now get off the couch and let's go.
Lapis Lazuli's ridiculous rhyme for orange.
My boyfriend Mike is a bartender at a pretty cool place in the East Village called Post No Bills. And when he comes home at night, really late, he kisses me and wakes me up. Then he takes a shower, and then he brings over a bottle of orange wine, which is really orange, by the way, from Italy. Well, Sicily, actually. Expensive, but so worth it. He likes to tell me about the characters he met that night. Now, Mike has a theory. True characters don't know they're characters. They're smart and intense and full of passion about something. Whatever it is. Backgammon, the Hudson Valley, Netflix. And they talk and they talk and they talk. They don't want to listen while Mike's talking. They're loading up. And they're fixated on their topic. It's a real-life monologue with polite pauses for responses they don't want, and in conversation, frankly, I prefer dialogue. And I really do love orange wine. You should try it.
Lapis lazuli, a poet and truly a man with some dubious talents, said to me last July with a glint in his eye.
What I'll tell you will throw you off balance.
I admit I was leery on weed, somewhat weary. Just what was he cooking this time?
I've unlocked the enigma, destigma the stigma, and for orange I found a good rhyme.
Now everyone knows that the emperor's new clothes were merely a con job, a ruse. Well, I'll tell you, Lapis, that's nothing but crappus, and you're too smart to be so obtuse. He tugged at his beard, it was worse than I feared, and he whispered, his voice was a hiss.
Neither Ogden nor Parker nor Stephen Sondheim dared attempt such a perilous rhyme. Forget about Seuss, 'cause he knew he'd be lost. Not Wordsworth, not Shelley, not Shakespeare, not Frost, not Yeats, not a one in this august melange would ever and ever rhyme for orange. But I...
Lapis lazuli continued now coolly, triumphant and sure of his footing. Was he crazy, a crank, a deranged mountebank? The proof, so they say, in the pudding. He then cleared his throat, trying hard not to gloat. I was doing my best not to cringe.
The word that's a rhyme that's mundane yet sublime. Orange, its mate is door hinge.
Door hinge.
Door hinge.
Was I callous or heartless, but like irregardless? And honey, I really felt badly. Ugh! It was frankly offending. There's no use pretending. Lapis, I looked at him sadly.
You've no ear for whimsy, your knowledge is flimsy. Van Gogh never could sell his art. Galileo was hounded, Prometheus grounded. Here's the moment, my friend, that we part.
Well, Lapis lazuli, a poet and truly, well, actually, sort of a hack, said
Silver is next, I'm not vanquished nor vexed. And orange, you'll glad I'll be back.
Hola, J. Alfred.
I just turned 64 on Wednesday. Okay, now that it's out. I don't feel old. I don't feel young either. But I still got that bucket list. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. Well, one of the things that I really wanted to do was act. So last year, I went to St. Bart's Community Theater, and they were doing a play. And I auditioned for Countess Olga Katrina. And I practiced, and I worked, and I got the best dialogue coach in the business. Matt, raise your hand. So I take him to the Russian tea room in keeping with character, and we have blini and caviar and lots of vodka. And I nailed that accent. What do you think, Matt?
Oh, honey, but beautiful. Chekhov would have killed to be in that production with you, darling.
I know.
Absolutely.
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 Darling, yes. So, I get the part. I nailed it. I was Meryl Streep. I was Judi Dench. I was Princess Patti LuPone. Oh, the accolades, the adoration. I killed him. Then we have rehearsals. I continue to kill him. Then we go off book. Words, as you may have noticed earlier, flew out of my head like demented pigeons going towards breadcrumbs at Tompkins Square. The director, he's probably 11, said 12. He sends me an email, okay, one night, and he writes really purple prose. Oh, I'm so sorry, but unfortunately, yada, yada, yada. Who gets fired from community theater?
Are your bunions as big as Bermuda? Are your bones like vanilla biscotti? Do you know this intrepid intruder who's invaded your mind and your body? Brand new hips of the finest titanium, now a waddle in lieu of a neck. As for what's going on in your cranium, well, you've lost a few jacks from the deck.
And Aleve is your go-to elixir. Every ache, every pain goes away. Metamucil in water's your mixer. Robitussin's your new Cabernet. Your theatrical dreams have lain fallow. That novel's somewhere in a fog. Oh, youth, it was fast, it was callow, and you doubt if you'll ever see Prague.
But don't roll your trousers and wonder, do I dare eat a peach? But continue to struggle and blunder, keeping splendid revisions in reach.
Hola, J. Alfred.
Go see Shakespeare at night in the park.
Aunt Lou, earbuds?
Yup, changed my life. I take my 10,000 steps. I learn my lines for my latest production. I'm telling you, I love technology.
Anyways, I wanted to tell you about the
Oh,
new
no,
guy.
let me tell you.
Okay.
I want you to bring, I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah.
I want you to bring that gorgeous guy over for dinner.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
And God, Lou, I'm wild for him.
You're wild.
Yes.
Is he gluten-free?
He's gluten-free, by the way, yes, so.
Not vegan. He's
No,
not a vegan.
none of that.
Good,
Oh,
good.
jeez. Oh. But I never thought I'd find someone here. And we didn't even meet online. We met at Starbucks.
Oh.
How cool is that?
Oh.
8 million people in this naked city, and I finally finally found someone to cuddle and love and to go to the movies with. And he cooks, and he's funny, and he's a reader.
Wait.
And wait till you see his, well, soon to be our apartment.
Wonderful.
What are the odds, you know?
And Chelsea, really, graduate school. And at NYU, no less. Chelsea's superlative noodles. And 107 is the perfect age to embark. I mean, I speak as an old man of 31 with his second novel in the hopper at Manuscriptus. Doesn't really matter that it took forever, did it?
Let's take a boat ride out to the Rockaways to Wits End, and let's get a pizza.
Pizza
with
clams.
clams.
Yep.
And an arugula salad.
Oh, yeah, I got to wash it down right. You got to do it.
I'm buying.
Deal.
You know, Matt, when we're old and we remember all the struggles and anguish, do you think it'll be bittersweet?
And as for the book fair in Barcelona, I'm taking my hottest new YA author.
Oh, flatter me not.
I wasn't referring to you. I'm just kidding. Don't give me that hound dog face. Of course I was. And at the fair, I'm taking my buckets of doubloons and I'm retiring. And I'm throwing out my alarm clock and reading only for pleasure. And I'm going to volunteer somewhere. And I'm going to use this brilliant brain for every borough. Delicious. No?
That comedy under the sky, beginning at dusk and then into the dark. Whoever could be near as lucky as we, seen Shakespeare at night in the park. The crowd clad in linen and t-shirts, when our tickets so priceless yet free. Neath the silvery moon, a brazen raccoon joined the audience, Donna and me. And the play was performed with a passion, though the writing was not quite PC. But the script well adapted and brilliantly acted. Petruchio, all hail to thee. Oh, the music, the set, the direction, the lighting, the magic, the spark. Nothing else of the sort save the Grand Delacorte can tame shrews like they do in the park. With more tenuous times in the future, as the world grows more dire and dark, when it all gets too hard, there's always the bard. Go see Shakespeare at night in the park. Go see Shakespeare